Everybody has to dust themselves off and get back up after some sort of a trauma. It's a multi-layered experience that metaphorically everybody goes through one way or another. The mind doesn't really know the difference between a physical trauma and something that's more in the mind, like a broken heart. How about that? To be able to love again after you lost trust. I think it's part of the human experience. It's part of the hero's journey.
I knew something would happen eventually. It was always there. That, yeah, someday it'd get hurt. I figured it would be more of like breaking legs or hips or something like that. Unfortunately, it was the neck. Oops. Yes, so just a little oops. When I was in California, I was a teenager and we were racing. So it was a different kind of skiing. It was a whole different environment. And the mountains were a lot smaller. Getting to Chamonix and seeing the big mountains, it brought on the carnage of the mountains. Like here in Norway, it doesn't happen. Maybe there'll be one accident every 2 years or something that's big. But in Chamonix, it's one a day. The mental side of things is tough. Skydiving, base jumping, skiing. It's a demanding sport. To make it 20 years without major injuries was pretty good. The day of the accident was a big day of jumping, having fun with all the friends. It was the last day of the season. It is a matter of centimeters to a good landing to a catastrophic landing. And whatever I did was just put me a little bit lower than I wanted to be. When everybody was asking me what was going through my mind, there wasn't anything. It was a normal flight. I just messed up. There is no cause to it. It was an accident.
What boosts our confidence and softens the fear more than anything is to know who you are. to know that you've solved emergency situations before, again and again. Proof is you not being dead. You know, it's not that easy to stay alive on this planet. There's a million different ways to die. And yet somehow you're here, which says that your awareness, your presence, and your ability to think your way through scenarios is commendable.
The first thing I dealt with when I got in the helicopter was having the paramedics contact my lawyer to make sure that Mike didn't get taken to Sweden to his mom's house. The important thing was to make sure he had his future secure. And trying to deal with logistics on the fact that I didn't know what was going to happen.
We have to begin with radical acceptance, with something, you know, where there is a major change and you're not going to, you know, instantly be able to heal yourself. Who knows, down the road, we may be able to come up with all sorts of solutions with stem cell research. It's moving forward. It is. But in the meantime, in order to release the real pain, we always have to go to radical acceptance, which is learning how to be okay with it as it is.
You can't look at the past because you can't fix it. I can't fix the fact that I crashed. It's too late.
At one point, I had a pretty bad paragliding accident. I remember being in the wheelchair, you know, and thankfully, I was in a recoverable situation, but I didn't feel that way. Doctors said I was never jumping again. To my face right away. I was like, oh my God. And I had to move into a radical acceptance phase where I just decided that I would find a way to be okay with it as it is and not interpret it as a limitation, because I realized that my real pain was comparing the experience I was in to the way it was. That was the root of my suffering. And when I decided to let go of the past, you know, pull the cutaway handle on that, yes, it happened, but I'm not that guy anymore. Everything has some positive spin where you can leverage your realization of what you still have power over, what you're still capable of doing. And I feel like our influence on other people is the greatest power, you know, to uplift others with our attitude.
Mike and I, we do them all, used to do it all the time. As soon as we get my car back, we do the one-day road trips. So we get in the car, it's like, which direction? South. All right. And then we get to a crossroad, left or right. As an athlete, yeah, you get injured. But you look at any of the professional athletes in the free sports world, everybody's had bad injuries. And some people can get injured and then that stops them from doing anything dangerous again. And other people get injured and it's just like, oh, I better recover so I can get back to it. Most people have a really hard time staying positive. It's the shortest emotion. Laughter is a 10-15 second emotion. Sadness, depression, those are long, drawn out emotions that are days, weeks, months. The happy ones are short, so it is hard to stay on top of that. Force yourself to act upon it. to be positive. It takes a lot of work, but you can't look to the past because you can't fix it.
You might not be able to change all the circumstances of your life, but you can change the way you feel about it, how you see it. The 10,000-foot view, right? You on the ground, you see the garbage, the litter, the spray paint, the people being cranky at each other. But man, you go to 10 grand and you look down and go, it's also beautiful. It's all in where you are.
I started skydiving for the one reason to reset my brain because of a mental brain lock I was having skiing big mountains. I never intended to become a skydiver, but it was fun. Trust is a big thing for yourself, but also the people around you. So many of the higher risk sports are solo sports, but they are teams. But you do have to trust the people you're with, because those are the people that have your back if something goes wrong. And the same reason, they've got to be able to trust you.
Fantastic! Yoo-hoo! Nice one, dude.
How was it? Oh my God, that was the craziest skydive I've ever done.
Amazing.
Oh my God, that was
I knew that doing a skydive wasn't going to be the same. It wasn't going to be the same joy. But it was nice to be in the airplane with the people. But in certain ways, it was fun and it was good. And then the other ways, it was sad to know that I'll never be able to do it again on my own. I didn't want to get back up in the air to skydive. It was more to just get back to life.
You can certainly pave the way, to an increased probability of worst case scenario stuff playing out. We're capable. We're that powerful, which means we're likewise just as powerful to, fully embody our dreams, fully embody our belief that we can influence things in a positive manner and create a different outcome.
This is just function. It's not a personality.
To truly be an archetypal hero, there has to be a fall from grace. And that resurrection of the human spirit to build back up. And of course, your life may be different, but it can still be inspired. It can still be free and unlimited in the ways that matter. Every time somebody gets back up in some form or other, they really are being a hero. They're demonstrating to themselves who they really are. You know, demonstrating resilience. That's our nature.